Kirchhoff's laws are two fundamental rules used to analyze electric circuits based on conservation principles, which are conservation of charge, which is called current law, and conservation of energy, which is called voltage law. What current law simply states is that the summation of current in a node is equal to 0, such that in these branches, we have a node in here, say I1 passes into it, and say I2 and I3 leaves the same node. Now, to satisfy this condition, we have I1 minus I2 minus I3 equal to 0. Whereas, in voltage law, the summation of voltage in a loop such as this is equal to 0. Okay, this is in a loop, whereas this is a node or junction. Now we'll apply Kirchhoff's laws in the determination of the current passing through the branches, as well as the voltage in each of the resistors. So to do this, we have to assume a certain direction of loop, and in this case we have a clockwise direction for this loop, which we will call loop 1. The same direction is also assumed for loop 2. We'll also name or designate a notation for nodes where current branches out, such as in this node here. We'll name this as node A and node B, noting that at these nodes there is branching out of current, after which we have to assume current flow direction, and since this is greater than, the voltage here is greater than 3 volts, we'll assume the current to be flowing in this direction. Okay, and we'll name this as I2, since we have designated this resistance as R2 earlier. So it is I2 that goes into this node, and branching out from this node is, we say I1, since this is already designated as R1, and into this branch we'll have a current I3. Since this is I2 going from this cell, we also have I2 in here, I2, this being I1 and I3 here, so that at junction A I2 minus I1 minus I3 is equal to 0. Similarly, at junction B, the equation for current is I3 plus I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. I3 and I1 being positive for the reason that they come in towards the node at B. The same is true at junction A. I2 being positive for the reason that it goes in to node A. Now we consider the loops. At loop 1, since the direction of the loop is in the same direction of the current as we see, then the battery adds voltage while the resistor subtracts voltage. We have positive 18 minus I2 R2 minus I1 R1 equal to 0. In loop 2, as we see, the direction of the loop points toward the positive of the cell, which is contrary to the direction of loop in loop 1, in which the direction of the loop points away from the positive of the cell. Hence, we say that the loop direction is in opposite that of the current flow. And with that, the battery subtracts voltage. Hence, it is negative. Meanwhile, the resistor, since the loop is in opposite direction of the current, the resistor adds voltage. So we have plus I1 R1 equals 0. Now, substituting the value of R1, which is 200 ohms, we can immediately solve for the value of I1, which is 0.015 ampere. Now we substitute the value of I1 in this equation in loop 1, so that we have 18 minus I2 R2, which is 400, minus I1 0.015 multiplied by R1 200 equals 0, from which I2 can be solved. It is equal to 0.0375 ampere. Then, substituting both I1 and I2 in this equation, we'll be able to get I3. So we have I2 equal to 0.0375 minus I1 0.015 minus I3 equals 0. So I3 is equal to 0.0225 ampere. And given that the values determined are all positive, this means that the assumed direction of current is correct. We can also solve for the voltage at each of the resistors. So say at V1, we'll have I1 0.015 multiplied by R1. This will give us 3 volts. And at resistor 2, we have I2 0.0375 multiplied by 400. This will give us 15 volts, which of course equals 18 volts. Okay.